Wildlife and livestock, opposites in many ways, but each the topic of stories that caught the eye this week of our Southwest Ontario Hub editor, Mary Baxter. And she joins us now on the line from our studio at Western University in London for more. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Hi, Jan.
Now, you recently wrote a story on Ontario's Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre. Tell us, how do they generally run?
Well, the interesting thing about wildlife rehabilitation centers is that the people who staff them, so-called, are mostly volunteers, pretty well always volunteers. They're usually run by one person who has the vision of trying to save these animals and bring them back into recovery to the point where they can be released to the wild. But they also are funded, probably most of them, only by donations and perhaps some private funding, the occasional government grant maybe to cover summer students, but there's no government program that actually funds the operations of wildlife rehabilitation centers.
Now, I know we have a photo of a student here who's a student volunteer feeding a turkey vulture there. Now, you explained some of in terms of how they run, but that comes with some problems as well. Tell us about that.
So, well, it has to do with this challenge of being run by donations. Most are run on a shoestring budget, and there's a lot of costs. So something like flight cages, for instance, for rehabilitating raptors, they can be huge, like as big as a house. And that costs a lot of money to maintain. Feeding the animals costs money. And then, of course, there's the issue of succession. A lot of the people who have established these centers are reaching retirement age themselves. And what's going to happen next, especially when they can't pay someone to succeed them? They themselves have been volunteers through all of this career.
So what can be done for these rehab centers in order for them to sustain and for the animals to thrive?
So I was talking to Sherry Cox. She runs the Canadian Wildlife Centre, and she's a veterinarian, and she's establishing an interesting model. She's actually bought a property, or the center's bought a property near Guelph that is also going to be a clinic for domestic animals, companion animals. And she's planning on using the funds from that, the profits, to support her wildlife rehabilitation activities. And also it gives her a source of income, and then whoever follows her, of course, that sort of thing. But Cox stressed to me, the whole thing with wildlife rehabilitation, when animals get injured, often the cause, the ones that are being rehabilitated, they've been hit by cars. It's been some sort of human interaction. And so rehabbers really feel that there's an important kind of social obligation that we have, or environmental obligation, to helping these animals. And therefore, there should be some sort of government involvement.
Now, I want to change gears a little bit. We talked about, the sustainability of rehab centers. I want to talk about the sustainability of our slaughterhouses in Ontario. You recently wrote a story about that, about the lack of licensed slaughterhouses in Ontario. For a lot of viewers who just finished their dinner, they probably don't know the process of how, their steak or chicken ended up on their plate. What is that process like? Give us the kind of the chain of activity.
Yes, it's a bit of a mystery, isn't it, between what happens when animals leave the farm to how does the meat show up in the grocery store? Well, a slaughterhouse or an abattoir is usually the middle ground, and there's two types. There's large federally licensed slaughterhouses that process large amounts of animals. They're usually specialized in processing a specific type of animal. They buy it from farmers on contracts or through auction. But the provincially licensed slaughterhouses, they're smaller. They help farmers who are direct marketing their products. So that would be farmers who would be maybe generating smaller volumes of product and selling it at a farmer's market. And usually, they're close by. The provincial abattoirs are, again, smaller. They don't specialize in a particular kind of animal.
Why is it so significant that in Ontario we have so few of these licensed slaughterhouses?
Well, from the farmer's point of view, what's happening is that the numbers have more than halved, I believe, since the 1990s, and that's big for farmers because they're driving longer, and that costs more, and it's not great for the animals. And one farmer that I spoke to, or one farm family, said that they're having trouble even breaking even because of this. It's also hard for them to be able to these smaller abattoirs. They're getting a lot busier in southern Ontario, at least. So then it becomes hard to actually find time to get their animals slaughtered. But for the consumer, there's a big problem too, because it's creating a bottleneck for the local food movement.
Tell me about that. You spoke with some farmers. What is kind of the issues when it comes down to a consumer purchasing, from some local smaller farmers?
Well, the challenge there is that something like it might be really hard for the farmer to offer fresh products because they have to, maybe they have once a month at the abattoir to be able to get their animals slaughtered. So then they have to freeze everything and bring it back. So it's a challenge in terms of getting fresh product, and it's also a challenge in terms of how do you expand, how do you grow this if there really isn't the capacity, the abattoir capacity to handle it.
Mary Baxter, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Again, we can get all of your stories online at tvo.org, so our viewers can check that out. Thanks again.
Thanks, Jan.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.